Good afternoon, everybody. It's David Perlmutter from Quantum Listing, and welcome to our webinar on on-demand marketing with Quantum Listing. So, just by way of introduction, like you, I am a commercial real estate broker, in addition to being the founder of Quantum Listing. And I started Quantum Listing because I wasn't particularly satisfied with the legacy companies that I had to use for marketing my listings. I thought they were overpriced and didn't really have the contemporary features that one would want. And as we've progressed with Quantum Listing and gotten feedback from people like you, we've introduced new features, and part of what makes us unique is that these features are largely on-demand features. So, we wanted to sort of create a new paradigm for an online commercial real estate listing service. And by that, it means that our base price is affordable for pretty much everybody. It's $89.99 a year per agent for unlimited listings. So we have Regis, for instance, putting on their listings now, and they've got 545 listings or so up already, and they're still adding more. And it's the same price that you pay if you have 89 listings or 20 listings or one listing. And it's not that it's expensive for one listing, it's a really great price for one listing if you compare it to some of the other services out there. And then in order for you to get more action on your listings, if you want, we've created this suite of on-demand features that will help you increase your exposure as you want, when you want, if you want, and it really works within your budget. So we're going to, let me go on to the next slide here. And today's agenda is that we're going to do a quick overview of Quantum Listing for those of you that are new to our service. Then we're going to go over one by one each of the on-demand advertising options. And we'll give you an overview of that, and then we'll go to the site and you can see them on the site. And of course, we welcome all of your questions and feedback, and we'll pause from time to time asking, and hopefully at the end, if you have more questions, we'll have time left over for that. So with that being said, I would like to bring in Julia, who is our customer success advocate, to give you the overview of Quantum Listing. Oh, but before I do that, I almost forgot.
Presents first, I'll talk later.
Before we want to give you a gift for being with us today, and stick around to the end and we'll tell you more about that gift. But I'll tip my hand a little bit and say that it has to do with one of our on-demand features, marketing features. All right, Julia, I'm really tossing it over to you now.
All right, you can just go to the next slide. And a lot of this David already spoke about, but this is kind of our, I was going to talk about that message, but I think you already covered it. It was basically just talking about how we give maximum exposure for your listings, like David mentioned, without breaking your budget. And there's also no paywall for Quantum Listing. So people can come to the site, they can look at your listing without having had to register for a profile, and they have no paywall at all. So that's really great. Some other sites, they require you to register in order to even see your phone number, which is a little crazy because most people's phone numbers you can find quite easily by Googling, but that's besides the point. So we make it really easy for our users to get connected with our members so that they can get more leads. So we're going to jump right into the topic today, the On-Demand Marketing Center. So this is what it will look like from your profile page. There's actually two pictures here. The first top half of the image is what David's profile at Perimeter Properties looks like. He'll show you this on the site, but once you click on the little graph button, that opens up our marketing center, which then, thank you, David, for the little pointer. Those are always fun. So when you click on the graph, it'll bring up the payment and marketing center, as you can see below, which goes into depth on each of the different options. We're not really going to talk about lead capture today because it's not so much part of our marketing package, but we will show you how you can get leads. And so we'll go through the different options that David already mentioned, but one of them is online advertisement. We have listing promotion. We have our email blast packages, our brand promotion, and then our deluxe listing promotion, which is actually now called our deluxe marketing bundle, which or it's our marketing bundle package. We have a few names for it, but it's deluxe, it's a bundle, and it's a package, so you definitely want it because it's a good deal and a lot of good stuff. So anyway, you can go to the next slide there. And so the it's not updating.
Okay, there we go. Had to get rid of the pointer. I didn't realize that. No.
Yeah, the pointer can be both good and bad. So, do you mind going back to the brand and listing promotion?
There we go. Sorry.
So basically, two of the options that are part of our marketing center are brand promotion and listing promotion. And you can see here that they're examples. Both of them are at the top of the search results. So they do similar things in that they bring your listings to the very, very top of the first page of search results because most people do not go beyond page 1 of search results. So with that being said, we want to make sure that your listings get seen. So listing promotion is on the right. You can tell that they're promoted because they have a green box around them. So this Geneva office space in Geneva, Illinois is promoted to the top, and that's going to give that user a lot more exposure for their listing, considering the fact that you don't have to click through hundreds of pages of listings to find the listing that you want. So you're given an automatic advantage, and we will go through our pricing page, but just to give you a sense of how affordable these options are, because I think a lot of times people say things are cheap, but then you hear the price and you're like, well, that's not cheap. But this is really cheap. This is cup of coffee cheap. The cost of these are $2.50 a week or $7.50 a month. So if you have a few dollars to spare, we definitely recommend that you take advantage of this because it time and time again works, and we see it in our analytics that it works for people. The other option, brand promotion, is kind of a fun way to advertise yourself and your company on our site. What happens is you will create a logo, or you'll have a logo that you already have most likely. But you'll want to give us your slogan and your advertisement that you think you'd like. If you're someone who already does a lot of graphic design, like for example, Carlson Integrated is a marketing company, so they designed this nice piece here, but not everybody has their own, graphic designer. So if you don't, I would say probably 60 to 70% of the people who do brand promotion, I end up helping design them. David and I use something called Canva that's really fun, and it makes you feel like you're a professional graphic designer, even if you're not. So brand promotion is another great way to get more exposure for your listings, or if you don't have listings, it's also just a great way to advertise yourself. What happens is when you click on the ad, it will bring the user to your profile so they can see all your listings if you do have them. But like I said, if you don't have listings, it will still bring them to your profile, which has all of your contact information. It should have a bio and a link to your website. So brand promotion is another really great option. And this comes in packages that are bigger than listing and listing promotion. And the reason is listing promotion, we only do it a week or a month at a time because we're hoping that the listing is not going to be on the market for that long. Whereas brand promotion, we know your brand and your company is going to be around. So these come in 1 month, 3 month, or 1 year options. Whereas listing promotion, you can always do it for a month and decide that you like it and do it again. And that's another part of just the whole on-demand idea, is that you can choose what you want when you want it. It's all like a la carte, if you will. So um, we are not locking anyone into any sort of commitment. You are really free to explore the market and see what you like, but then you don't have to commit to anything. So we're trying to be trendy like all the other on-demand apps these days. And I'll give you a even bigger hint than what David gave you, which is that brand promotion is definitely a part of the gift. I won't go into the specifics, but it's just a big hint. So you don't want to take advantage of that. It's very much worth it. So I think we're going to move on to online advertisement. And David is our residential expert. Well, he's a commercial expert, but he's the expert on online advertisement. So I'm going to toss it back to him to go over what these ads do.
Thanks, Julia. So online advertisement is something, the way we do it at least, that is unique to our site. So when we say online advertisement, we're talking about being able to advertise your listing on the Google AdWords display network, the Google Display Network. And we've set it up so that it just takes a couple of clicks for you to do that. There are two types of ads on Google. One is the Google search ads. That's when you type in something in the search box and you get a list of results. The Google Display Network are the ads that you see when you are on the websites that you ordinarily visit, and there are ads at the side, the top, or the bottom. And I think 80+% of the ads that you see on those different websites are served by the Google Display Network. The reason why we chose the display network over search ads is that it's a much, much better value for you. Google search ads for an asset class that's expensive, like commercial real estate, can cost anywhere between a few dollars a click up to 25, 30, or more dollars a click, depending on the market that you're in. And Google sets this up via an auction system. So you're bidding against other people, and that's why it costs more. The Google Display Network, we've set up so that for basically for every dollar that you spend, you'll get 1,000 views of your listing, and depending on the market, the picture, the headline, you can get, per 1,000 views, it could be anywhere between one click, meaning that they'll click and go to your listing on Quantum Listing, or multiple clicks. But generally speaking, we haven't seen anybody get less than 1 click per 1,000. So the other thing that I want to point out about the Google Display Network is it also leverages the great machine learning algorithms that Google has put in place so that the people who are seeing your ad are more likely to be interested in commercial real estate than your average citizen. So hopefully we're serving the ads on your behalf to people who are commercial real estate focused or curious at the very least. So that would be that. And then we have 3 different increments for how much you would spend per listing on the display network at $25, $50, or $100. And the only difference between the 3 options is the amount of time that it's going to run on the network. So you'll spend $4 or $5 per day. So for a $25 spend, it'll run 4 or 5 days on average, and just multiply that out for the $50 or $100 increments. Do note that when you do sign up for these types of ads. It takes about 24 hours for Google to approve the ad. They do occasionally reject ads, and those are the ones that um, violate their guidelines. And like, for instance, once somebody had an ad that had in the headline ShopRite. ShopRite is a northeastern supermarket chain for those of you not from the Northeast, and because when you clicked on that ad, it goes to your listing on Quantum Listing instead of to the ShopRite website. Google rejected it because they feel that it is deceptive. So, even though it clearly says, ShopRite for sale or something like that, it doesn't really matter to Google. So we'll fix that when we see that. Another quirk in the Google advertising guidelines is that you can't have an exclamation point in the headline. So for little things like that, we'll fix that. We'll let you know. And you do get to check the analytics on your ads, meaning the number of views and clicks that you're getting during the course of it running. And Google updates that once a day, and you'll be able to see that in the late afternoon or early evening, depending on where in the country you are. And that is, we'll show you on the site how you set these up, but it's really easy. You can see this is on the left-hand side of the page here. You will search for the listing that you want to add, and there's also another way where it is automatically added for you. Then you get to choose, the ad will default to the location, the market where your listing is. You can specify an additional market where you want it to run, or you can eliminate the listing location and choose two different markets. So it's up to you, but really not a lot for you to do there. Again, you can choose between $25, $50, and $100. And if you want to get reminded where that ad is going to, when the ad is running through its budget, we can send you a reminder if you check that little box there. By the way, all the transactions on Quantum Listing, including your premium membership, are all handled through PayPal, so they're secure. We never get your credit card information. You don't have to worry about us going on a shopping spree or getting hacked. It's all handled by PayPal, so nice and secure. And here are examples of the analytics that you'll see from the online advertisement. You can also download a spreadsheet that has the analytics, the views, and the clicks. In these instances, you can see them in the aggregate, or you can see it listing by listing. The spreadsheet that you get has each listing's individual analytics. So you can see, these were all $25 spends here, and these ones here are getting close to 20,000 views, and anywhere from 9 clicks to a peak of 13 clicks for that $25. So you can see you're getting a decent amount of action. We did have a now here's another user's examples, and this one got more clicks and views. As you can see here, this is probably a $50 spend, where it's 61,000 or 67,000 views, and clicks were quite dramatically increased as well. So, these ads really do work. They're very effective, and you don't have to take our word for it. Becca Carlson, who is the woman who owns Carlson Integrated that Julia referred to before in the brand promotion ad, has done these ads repeatedly, and she does them because they work. So, and you can see here that she got 36,000 views for her $25 spend and 17 click-throughs. And not only that, she was got a lead from a residential broker out of one of the nearby towns who never would have been approached for this listing, probably because Becca was marketing it primarily to to commercial brokers and tenants. So you can see that having it on these other websites really broadens your marketing scope and your target market tremendously. I mean, I have for my brokerage company, several hundred, maybe 1,000 brokers in the New York metro area, and hundreds of target tenants. But there's no way I've got 36,000 people on my list. So, and we all know, if we've been doing commercial real estate for a long time, that to, finding a tenant or a buyer for your property is a little bit like buying a lottery ticket. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. And, this is just, giving you a lot more lottery tickets for not a lot of money here. So, and we do hope you're a winner. All right, Julia, you want to take us through the It's a Blast emails?
I would love to. Although you do get credit for naming it. David's a big Rolling Stones fan, and I think he wrote an entire blog post with video links to what's the song? Jumping Jack Flash. It's a blast, blast, blast. But anyway, we thought it was a good name for this because we essentially created a feature on Quantum Listing that serves the same purpose as one of your email marketing tools like Constant Contact or MailChimp. And the great thing about our service is that it's included with your premium membership, which is just $89 for the year for unlimited listings, like David mentioned. And so with that being said, everyone knows email is important, but I wasn't aware until I read this statistic on the right that email yields a $38 return for every dollar spent. So that's a pretty big ROI, especially considering the fact that with us, you can essentially send emails for no dollars additional spent. So what we did was, instead of just having our traditional email form where you could type in some addresses and then send out an email, which was great, we decided to add another component, which allowed us to upload a XLS file. I actually will show you on the site, but I am creating an XLS file with everyone who's on the webinar right now, and we will show you later on how easy this is.
Interject that it can also be a CSV file or an XLSX file.
Yeah, that's true. There's lots of different kinds of file types, but they all work for the most part, unless there's something I've never heard of. So I think if you go to the next slide, you can see what the email looks like, even though you guys will be getting your own. And if anyone has, I think Thomas, you have a listing with us. So maybe we'll blast out one of your listings to the group so that you can see what it looks like. So I'm just looking at Thomas's profile to make sure that's, oh, Thomas, maybe not. Okay, I'm sorry. Well, we'll figure that one out. But regardless, we'll show you what it looks like. But something super, super exciting is that we added another email feature that takes this to another level, which is our email blast packages. And what that is something that we were kind of trying out for a while on a unofficial basis, where we were using Quantum Listing's marketing and our network list, and we were essentially sending out an email with your listing and uploading our email list, basically. And we decided to make this an official feature because when we sent out interest emails, I think that this was like the form that we've had the most people ever fill out, honestly, besides like signing up. It's been a big, big hit. And for that reason, we decided to continue to do more of it because, that's how things work. If something's working, keep doing it. If it's not working, stop. So email blast packages definitely work. All you have to do is tell us what listing you want blasted, and we will help you send it out to your network. You also will have to pick a package, and we'll show you the package options, but something super, super important, which I should add to this slide so that you all can see it, but I'll tell you right now, I swear to you, all members, all premium members of Quantum Listing get one free email blast, complimentary, included with service. So definitely take advantage of that. There's no reason not to, if you have a listing. And if you don't have a listing, we're happy to figure something else out on your behalf. Maybe we'll give you some extra brand promotion or something like that. So we'll discuss. But regardless, I think we want to just get to the site because that's really what we're most excited to show you guys if you haven't seen it, and if you have seen it before, we have a lot of new stuff today. And there's actually we'll be showing you, but we just added to our site a new package that I mentioned earlier, which takes a few of those features I talked about and combines them into one feature and basically creates a package so that you can get a really good deal on a few features for a lower price than buying them individually. So David, do you want to start us off on the site and we can kind of go from there?
Absolutely. So to get to all these features that Julie and I have been sharing with you, you have to go to your profile page. And to do that, you click on the little head and shoulders icon at the top right of every page on our site. I'll do that now. And once you are on your profile page, you need to go to the Marketing Center. And there are two ways to do that. There's also a couple of shortcuts, which we'll discuss as well. So you can click the green dot up here with the graph on it, or you can click over here. And you can try any of these features during your trial period. If your trial period doesn't extend for the length of time that the feature you're selecting, it may require you to enter become a 1-year Quantum Listing member. Again, $89.99, not a giant tariff for that. So, just understand that you do need to be a premium member to use these different features. So, we're going to go to the Marketing Center, and we're going to go through the features one by one, starting with online advertisement. So online advertisement is the Google Display Network, which we talked about. In addition to, while we're waiting for that to happen, I'm going GoToMeeting slows down the website as I'm using it. So there is another way that you can access these ads, and that is to click the three dots on a listing card on your profile page and then click advertise on Google. From the listing itself, you can also click on the sharing icon and then click on the green G for Google and advertise it that way as well. However, in this case, we're going to do it via that link from the Advertisement Center and the Marketing Center. So I'm going to click Create an Order, and then I'm going to start typing in one of my listing titles. Oh, I hope I spelled it correctly. And the little green wheel is looking for it right now. And it just disappeared. But what happened? I think I've actually advertising all. I think I'm advertising all of my listings right now, so it won't. Well, I have an active order. Okay, here it did work. Okay, so it clicked Pleasantville, New York, and then I'm going to pick a second location by clicking where it says pick up to 2 locations. If I wanted to get rid of Pleasantville and just advertise it somewhere else, I can click the little X here. So I can do the first location, we'll say Westchester County, which is the county where Pleasantville is. And maybe I think that because of COVID and Westchester being a bedroom community for New York City, maybe I want to have my ad show up in New York City. If I really want to get specific, I could say, okay, I've got some guy who's working all the way down on Wall Street in Manhattan, and I'll have to take a train from Pleasantville and then take a subway. Maybe that guy wants to have a local office, so I might want to target where I think the guy is going to be coming from. So you can see here, I've got Westchester County and I've got Wall Street. Pleasantville is nice, and but it's a relatively small town. It's got maybe 5,000 or 9,000 residents. So I think, if I broaden the scope a little bit more, I may end up getting more people. But, you can be as targeted as you want, or, take a broader perspective on it as well. So once I've decided which ad I'm going to run and which listing I'm going to run, I can pick the locations. Here you can see I've got $25 per listing, but what if I say, I really want this one to run for longer? So I could pick $50 or $100 here, and then when I was done, I would click create order. And once I've done that, it will take me to PayPal, where I would then finish the transaction. You can, if I'm sure by now pretty much everybody has used PayPal. If you haven't and you don't have your own PayPal account, you can use PayPal to pay with a debit or credit card. So either way, you're good, and it's a secure transaction. So that is how you get to doing the online advertising with the Google Display Network through QuantumListing. So you can see, my description of it probably makes it seem more complicated than it is, but it's super easy. If you do need help with it, you can contact us by either using the intercom button down here, or click up here where it says contact, or we can schedule a demo and we can walk you through it on a one-to-one basis with a web meeting similar to this. So let's move on to listing promotion. Listing promotion is when you promote your listing so that they appear at the top of searches on Quantum Listing on our website. And again, people who are viewing your listing on the website, if it's a promoted listing, there's a little green box around it, which just lets people know that it's there because somebody like you cared enough to spend $2.50 or $7.50 to have it show up. So similar to how we started that last order on for the online ad, we're going to click create order, and then you start typing in the title. Here, we'll do more Pleasantville. And then you click the listing so that the green radio button is lit up, and then click create order, and it takes you to PayPal, and you finish your transaction securely there. Next up,
Would you ever search New York State? I think it should show, because you promoted a listing in New York, right?
oh, today I was busy promoting stuff.
New York might be different because New York City. Yeah, so I just confirmed your.
Okay, all right. So as you can see that if people search in Pleasantville, they're going to see my promoted listings. If you search New York State, it's going to show my promoted listings as well. If I search White Plains, New York, hold on. Oops, I've switched to person search. Here we go. So if I switch and search on White Plains, it doesn't show my Pleasantville listing because my Pleasantville listing isn't in White Plains. So we're trying to make sure that you get a good user experience as well, and the people visiting get a good experience. All right, so actually let me take a pause here and just see if there are any questions on the first two, on online advertisement or listing promotion, before we move on to email blasts. You can put either unmute yourself or add something in the chat. In the meantime, I will start out with email blasts. So
I have a question. What happens if I promote 10 listings in the same town?
what happens if you promote 10 listings at the same time?
No, in the same town, like in the same market.
Very good. Or if you or your colleagues are, your only 5 promoted listings show up at a time. So the additional listings, so the listings will be shown on a rotating basis so that we try to keep it fair and equitable for everyone. So good question, Julia, and thank you for that. Okay. Email blasts. So this process is going to seem fairly familiar to you folks by now. So if I want to do just one email, buy a package of one email blast, I will type in the...
You know what? Hold on. Michelle has a question about the ads.
Okay, let's see.
Michelle, you're asking, where are these ads being seen? Are they being seen on sites that people are searching?
Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, so great question, Michelle, and thank you for that. The ads are being seen on sites that people are normally visiting. It could be, it could be, a news site. It could be a cooking site. It could be, any of the sites that people just normally view it. And the important thing is that, it's being shown to people in the areas that you specify. We try not to have them show up on video gaming sites, for instance. We try to make it work so that they show up on the sites that are more likely to attract people who have an interest in commercial real estate. Is there a preview of what the ads look like? There isn't. We'll have to.
Oh, there is, David. We can show them on Google. I mean, we don't have to do it right now, but
Yeah.
I can send her a screenshot. When you go to Google AdWords, it has a preview.
Okay, well, thank you. Yes, so yeah, we can see a preview of it, and again, because these are showing up on different websites, the ads are responsive, meaning that they will adapt to the space that is allotted to them on these different websites. So your single ad could have 10 different formats on it. So it'll look a little bit different depending on the website, but we definitely can provide that for you. Great question, and first time anybody asked us about that, and we'll have to find a way to sort of institutionalize that if we can.
Yeah, and I would say too, Michelle, something that's kind of, I think, the truth with everything on our site and probably most sites is like the better quality that your listing images are, and also the better quality that your messaging and your title is. That's going to have a large impact just on the just on how your ad does. If you have bad quality, actually Google won't even accept it. But like on our site too, if you upload an image and doesn't have great quality and you promote it, you can expect that it's not going to do as well as some of the better images. So we will guide you through that, though we are definitely, as David's mentioned, we're very hands-on and we're always helping our customers to pick the best images and the best messages.
Yeah, and there's also character uh, restrictions, meaning the number of letters and spaces that you can have for the headline. So that's going to be 30 characters, and this is not something that we said; it's something that Google sets. And on our site, you can have up to 80 characters. So if you're going to advertise one of your listings, you might want to edit that so that it fits within the parameters. And again, we'll look at these things as they go up on Google and make sure that it's appropriate and understandable and communicative, so that you end up putting your best foot forward. Uh, so in turn, Michelle also asks, is there a separate place on the site that you build this ad? The answer is no, that you build the ad when you create your listing or when you edit your listing. So if you say want to, that there's a listing that you want to advertise, the image that's going to show up on the Google display ad is the first image, which is also the image that shows up first then on the listing card. And when you click through the detail page, that's the first image that shows up on the detail page. So you're generally going to make that your best picture of the listing anyway. So there's that. And then you need to be mindful about uh, the length of the title. All right. And
And at the end, or whenever it's appropriate, I have an example pulled up of one of your ads, David. It's obviously, like you said, it's not exactly what it will look like because things do mold to the site or the device, but I do have something pulled up if you want me to show it.
see that right now, Julia, since we're on the topic.
Yeah, sure. Okay. I'll just grab the screen real quick since I have it already. And you guys can let me know. So can you guys see my screen?
We see your screen now.
Okay, so you guys are in some classified information on the Google AdWord login. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that classified. But so there's a lot of different formats. So this is the format of what an ad would look like on a mobile device. It looks different because there's not as much room on a mobile device, but you'll see here that on a desktop or a regular computer, there's also a lot of different formats. And when you see this, you'll probably be familiar with it. But like, for example, this is the kind of ad that would sit at this is the kind of ad that would sit at the top of a website. This is the kind that would be in the left-hand side, and then these two are the kind that would be on the middle of the page or wherever it fits. And like you said, it really depends on the website. So I think that that's something that is important to keep in mind. But these are just some examples of what it looks like, and I think the fact of what I said earlier, that like the better image you have and the better message you have here, the better that the clicks will be on these ads, because you're going to get the views no matter what, but the amount of clicks I think is definitely dependent on the message and image, like I mentioned.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Does that make sense, Michelle?
That's great, Julia. Thank you for pulling that up. And Michelle, thanks for the question. We're going to have to make that a staple of our presentations in the future.
And Michelle said that makes sense. I asked since you said the pictures and wording is important, and you are absolutely right. And thank you for listening. So yeah, I mean, you really don't. Yeah, that's exactly right. And David, I stopped sharing my screen, so if you want to share again, that would be great.
Hang on, let's go back to Chrome. Actually, let me just quickly show you. This, by the way, is a spreadsheet that shows some of the ads that I've run for my listings, and it'll show you when the ad was started and the number of views and clicks that they've gotten. So and actually, it shows each day that it's running rather than the whole thing. So you'd have to add this
Do you
up.
mind, do you mind showing this in the graph format too, since it's a little more like
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
pull to the eye? I think we showed it earlier actually on the slides, but um,
Yeah,
we'll show analytics maybe at the end or something. I don't know.
no, well, I want to go through all the analytics at the end.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay. So stay tuned for that. But there is digest. You can download the raw data, but there's also digestible graphs too for those of us that are more visual than analytical.
So for choosing to get, we're back on email blasts now, and so you choose, similar to how we've chosen the display ads or the brand promotion, uh, or any of the other things. You start out clicking the radio button. You determine the size of the package that you want, and then you click create order. Now, if you're doing a 12 blast package, we'll get in touch with you because, it's possible over the course of time you've sold or leased that listing, and we do hope that happens. And then you want to transfer it to another one of your listings. So, again, we're very, flexible and user friendly, and we'll work with you to make sure that you end up getting exactly what you want. So you select the duration or the number of blasts that you want, and then click create order. And if you wanted to put some comments in there, let me just go back. You can say, tell us exactly what it is that you want with that blast. Um, I need.
Generally speaking, when you do these, like I'll probably call you to talk a little bit further because, for example, I had someone who lives in California, but just moved from Chicago and had an office building in Chicago that was an investment property. And like he didn't want to send it to the Illinois network. He wanted to target a certain group of people. So we kind of created more of like a targeted list. But generally speaking, I'll probably reach out just to make sure we're on the same page and that I understand what you want. And don't forget that you do get a free email blast as well with this.
Thank you. Okay, so once you've selected the listing and the duration, uh, just click create order, and it takes you to PayPal, and you finish it there. Uh, before we get to the analytics, we still have, um, sorry, we're going to do the deluxe or the marketing bundle, as we, I think, have redubbed it, or soon to be redubbed. Let's see if it just didn't flow through yet because I didn't refresh. All right, so here it's called the Deluxe Listing Promotion. Oh, we didn't do brand promotion, did we? Good Lord, I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, so
Deluxe listing promotion is a combination of them all. So that one's an easy one.
yes, that's true. So brand promotion, it's shows up at the top of searches in the market that you specify. It's your marketing message, your image. It could be a picture of you. It could be your company logo. It could be, some of the buildings you represent on it. So, we'll work with you to create that ad if you don't have a marketing team to create it for you, or you don't have the skill set to do it yourself. Happy to create that for you. I can show you just an example of, this is what I've used for some of these ads, and it's my logo and just a little bit about what I do. So again, you can choose a 1 month, 3 months, or a year for that. And if over the course of the year you want to change the image, just let us know. And as long as it's not every week that you're changing the image, we're happy to work with you for that. And so we're going to click create the order, and so you will drag and drop or browse your computer to add the image here. And again, if you don't have that image, we'll help you with that. You specify the market where you want that to show up, and then click Create Order. So here I'll just do show you how I would create one.
I also sent a link in the chat to another example on our site. It's in Illinois. But if you click that link in the chat, it will show you an example of another brand promotion. And like David said, when you click on the brand promotion, it brings the user to your profile.
All right, so I've selected the image, and now I'm going to select the market where I would like it to show. And let's go with Ardsley. I have a listing in Ardsley, so it makes sense. And then I would click Create Order and finish my transaction on PayPal. After you do a brand promotion order, we have to approve the image, so it will not necessarily show up instantly, but we're pretty responsive. And if you want to make sure we do it even faster, you shoot us an email or a text or give us a call, and happy to make it happen as quickly as we can. So the last thing that we want to talk about is, how do you know if this stuff is working? Well, obviously, if your phone is blowing up, or you're getting lots of emails, or you're getting lead emails from us, you'll clearly know it's working. However, that doesn't always happen like that, but you want to know that you're getting the views and the clicks that you want, and hopefully enough views and enough clicks, you'll get the leads. But right here on your profile page, which again you get to by clicking the head and shoulders in the top right, we have the left-hand sidebar menu, and in the info section, if you click on info, it opens up a submenu that has analytics as one of the choices. So you want to click on analytics. Depending on how much data there is in your account, it takes a few seconds potentially to add that. And you can choose whether you want to see the results over a week, a month, or all time. And so in this case, listing views. His first view here is the aggregate of all the listing views for all my listings. Then you can also, if you've archived listings and you want to see the results for them included, you can check that box there. So it does change things a bit when you do that. And then you can also drill down for an individual listing as well. Additionally, for individual listings, if you click on the listing card and go to the listing detail page at the top right of the listing detail page, there's a view counter there. But in this case, you can see, a week, a month, or all time. A lot of us have, for some of our landlords, reporting requirements, so having access to this data is very important. If you notice that something isn't getting as many views as would make you or your principal happy, that might be the time to think about promoting your listing on our site or doing an ad on the display network so that you get more views and clicks of your listing. So having these analytics can really be a helpful tool and tell you, what's getting exposure and what you might want to do a little bit more to, or potentially send an email blast. Any of those things are good. So, so you can see, this is just listing views and has nothing to do with being promoted. But for the promoted views, promoted listings, you can see the views and clicks that they're getting too. You can see that I'm a fairly robust user of these features. You know, 1 week, or actually, sorry, 1 month, I had close to 22,000 views of my listings because I was promoting them all, and the clicks, generally correlate. The more your views you're getting, the more clicks you're going to get. And for brand promotion, sorry, I'm going to interrupt myself to answer this question. For brand promotion, do you have the ability to control content to make sure that it is in line with advertising guidelines, i.e. brokerage info? We are going to be taking, the brand promotion is, it's up to you to make sure that you're in compliance with any state requirements. We do not have access to each of the 50 states brokerage requirements. So we really do depend on you to know what it is. I know that some states want you to have your license number on it. If that's the case, we're counting on you to tell us. We're not creating these without input from you. So do make sure. I know that when I do my continuing education in New York or Connecticut, they're always telling me what the most recent guidelines are, and we want you to be the one responsible for that. Promoted listings. So again, views and clicks. You can see a week, a month, or all time. So for my promoted listings over time, I've gotten almost 115,000 views.
Michelle asked if you can see them individually for each property and for brand. And the answer is yes. You can look at them all time, or you can search for a listing and click on that particular listing's views.
Yes.
It goes for brand too.
So here it'll drill down to my Chapco listing, and here it's calculating. I think it's calculating. Unless that one's done that.
You have so many views that it's taking a while to load.
There you go. It did. All right, so it did calculate. So I'm not sure why this didn't update. We'll have to check with the tech team on that one. But it did actually. Yeah. Okay, so it's a little laggy, and I think it's because I'm using the GoToMeeting here, so I apologize for that. Okay, so here you're getting a more accurate view. So for the Chapco listing, it got 21,500 views on the promoted listings, and the clicks will catch up to us in a moment. I guess it's going through months and months of data to get the answer, hence the sort of a little bit of lag time here also. Promoted banners. Okay, so in those 21,000 views, we got 15 clicks from them. All right, so promoted banners are, the ones that we were looking at, where you promote your brand in various markets, and you can see in my White Plains promoted banner, this is one that I ran in October. I got 2 clicks and 1,000 views on that one. And remember, if somebody clicks on that, goes to your profile and engages you to work for them, either as a landlord's rep or a tenant rep or a buyer rep, you're getting a pretty good bang for your buck. $25 to make 25 grand. I'll do that all day long. All right. I want to speed up a little bit just because I don't want to take too much of your time. So you can see the analytics for the other online advertisement also. You can see from the different ads that I've run over time, I've gotten almost, I've gotten 466,000 plus views. So just like how many emails you'd have to send out to get that number of views. So, the internet is our friend here. And for the number of clicks, I've gotten 316 clicks on that. And that's 316 clicks of my listings that I wouldn't have gotten otherwise, most likely. All right, so I think it's time to wrap up, but not before, of course, uh, going through, well, we'll take your questions, but we do want to thank you for your time today in a very tangible manner. So we're that gift that we mentioned at the beginning, or that Julia tipped our hand a little bit, is we would like to give you a month of brand promotion for your time. So what we would need from you to follow through on this is your marketing message, an image if you want, in the town or city where you want your message to appear. So we do hope you'll take us up on this, and thank you so much for your time. Thank you, Julia, for all your help today and for your you know co-hosting with us
Of
today.
course.
And
Thank you. Thanks for starting Quantum Listing.
hey, I had to, because I was so darn sick of my old service. Uh, so thank you. Stay safe, everybody. Have great holidays. We hope we can help you, do more deals. If you like us, tell your friends about us, and if you tell us who your friends are, we'll get in touch with them for you. And if you get somebody to join, we'll do something else nice for you. So again, thank you, everybody, and really appreciate your time.